In today's episode, we'll create flowers using the Jostovo technique. Expect summer, holiday, and colourful vibes.
Hi, my name is Connie, and this is a channel dedicated to the art of nail styling. Today, we'll be using the Jostovo technique. Why? Because we love flowers, and this is a stunning floral wet-on-wet technique. So, if you want to learn it, here we go.
To create today's designs, we'll use gel polishes in Ibiza Chill and Nevermint, nail art pastes in white, Like a Princess, Optimistic and Power Spinach, brushes, Pro Brush No. 2 and Master Nail Art 007. Additionally, we'll need Art Brillante Mocha, Effect Base, Super Matte Top Coat, Top Ciuszek Top Coat and Wipe Off Cleaner.
What is Jostovo? It's a technique that allows us to create a realistic floral design mainly through shading, which we'll show you in a moment. But let me be clear from the start. Unfortunately, this is not a simple technique. If you want to gain some skills in using it, there are hours upon hours of practice waiting for you. In fact, only people who are truly in love with these florals, those who love a difficult challenge, will take to it like a duck to water. On multiple occasions, I have seen our instructors flying off the handle and throwing brushes around to finally give up on the practice of Jostovo. But do you know what? Just knowing that you will be able to do something most nail techs can't is really motivating.
We start off by covering the nail with the Ibiza Chill gel polish. We cover it meticulously with 2 layers, curing each one in the lamp for 30 seconds. We secure the whole nail with the Super Matte Top Coat and cure again for 30 seconds.
Today, we'll be working with the Pro Brush No. 2. It might be your first time seeing it on screen. It's not that popular, which is a pity because it really comes in handy, not just for the Jostovo design, but also for working with small acrylic elements or for gel designs. It's made out of red marten hair, it's soft and comes in the shape of a cat's tongue.
Before starting to work on our design, it's essential we clean the brush properly. We place a drop of the effect base onto the nail art palette and dip all sides of the brush in it thoroughly, then wipe against a dry pad. Now, the brush is ready for work.
To create clean work, we must clean the brush each time we switch to a new shade. For that purpose, we can use, for example, a protein base or wet look. Either way, it has to be a transparent product with a dispersion layer. While wiping the brush against a pad, we need to continue removing all of the pigment from each side until it stops showing up on the pad. And when we finish our work, let's remember to both clean the brush well and reshape it properly. We should style it back into, for example, a cat's tongue shape if we're working with the Pro Brush No. 2.
We place a tiny amount of the pastes in Like a Princess, White and Optimistic onto the nail art palette, as well as Art Brillante in Mocha. We pick up some of the Optimistic paste onto the tip of our brush and paint the inner part of the flower in the center of the nail, trying to create a delicately jagged shape. We cure the inner part of the flower in the lamp for 10 seconds. We pick up a small amount of the Like a Princess paste onto the tip of our brush. We place the brush where the first petal should begin. We press the tip down and stretch the petal shape, detaching the brush close to the center of the flower. Next to the first petal, we paint the remaining ones, using the same technique. Remember to maintain a fluid motion, otherwise the flowers won't have the desired charm. Cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We painted the first layer of petals with the darkest shade. To create a hue that's a shade lighter, we need to blend a small amount of the white paste with Like a Princess until we achieve a uniform consistency and colour.
The nail art gels have a dense consistency. They feel a bit like oil paints. All of our painters will be delighted. Let's remember they're superb not only for the Jostovo technique, but also for ombres and structural designs.
We apply the next layer of petals slightly closer to the centre of the flower. We place them more or less in the centre of the darker petals. As a result, we add a 3D effect to the pattern. We cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. Next, we pick up a minimal amount of the white paste and move to the next dimension of the design. We paint the white petals even closer to the centre. The brush motion should be the same as before. Firstly, we gently press the tip of the brush into the nail, then drag the belly of the brush towards the centre. The closer the petal is to the center, the thinner and more teardrop-like it should be. We cure in the lamp for 30 seconds.
We can't have too much product on the brush. If we apply too much paste, the petals we're creating will merge into one big stain. That's why we make sure to pick up only the tiniest amount of product and control the motions of the brush. This will ensure our design remains super light and dainty.
We pick up a bit of the paste in Optimistic onto our clean brush and paint the inner part of the flower one more time. If need be, we can make it slightly larger. We clean the brush against a dry pad, pick up a small bit of art brillante in mocha, and using a pulsating motion, shade the design starting on the left and moving towards the center. We cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. Again, we pick up some mocha and make the left side of the flower center even darker. We cure in the lamp for 30 seconds.
This technique is merciless. Clean work really matters here. Every single time we move to another color, we must clean the brush thoroughly. It is time-consuming and requires patience, but working quickly without the in-between cleans is completely pointless. So, what's my advice? If you want to work on your Jostovo technique, give yourself a lot of time and bring along a lot of your patience.
We pick up some white nail art paste with the tip of our brush, and using a delicate pulsing motion, we fill in the center of the flower and cure in the lamp for 10 seconds. We then pick up some Like a Princess paste and paint some dots above and below the flower, then cure in the lamp for 10 seconds. We pick up some medium pink from the nail art palette and create some lighter dots, which we then cure in the lamp for 10 seconds. We create the last layer with some white nail art paste. We create smaller, irregular dots, placing them in between the darker ones. We cure the entire design in the lamp for 30 seconds. We move on to the last stage of our design. We dip the Master Nail Art 007 brush in the Like a Princess paste. We drive the brush from the center of the flower towards the free edge, creating a thin line that runs downwards. We mirror the line in the top section of the nail as an extension of the bottom part. We cure the design in the lamp for 30 seconds, then wipe the nail with a pad soaked in wipe-off cleaner. And that's it! First design ready! We cover the second nail with the Never Mint gel polish. We apply 2 layers, curing each one in the lamp for 30 seconds. Then we cover the entire surface with a shimmery top coat, top chulshek, and cure again in the lamp for 30 seconds. Next, we cover the nail in the super matte top coat and cure in the lamp for another 30 seconds. We place onto the nail art palette drops of nail art gels in Power Spinach, Optimistic, Like a Princess, and White. We blend Power Spinach and Optimistic to create a grass-like green. We dip the Master Nail Art 007 brush in the green blend and paint 2 thin lines along the entire nail, then cure them in the lamp for 30 seconds. We pick up a small amount of Like a Princess paste onto the tip of our Pro Brush number 2. Always start petal painting with the ones in the background. We place the tip of the brush on the nail plate, push it gently against the surface, and create a half drop shape. Then we pick up some more product, press the brush again, and create the other half of the drop shape on the right. Slightly higher, we paint another petal. Without curing, we move on to painting a petal in the foreground. Using a small amount of product, we create the side petal. Then, step by step, we paint the remaining petals between the ones in the background. We pick up Like a Princess gel onto the tip of the brush and paint a flower bud. Then we clean our brush against a dry pad and reshape its bristles to form the so-called cat's tongue. We pick up some Optimistic onto the brush, and pushing the tip down, we create the side part of our outer petal.
Thanks to the wet-on-wet technique, the colours blend perfectly.
Again, we pick up a small amount of the Optimistic shade and apply it to the outer part of the bottom petal, and do the same to the front petals. We repeat this action on the bud, from the left side, then cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We pick up a small amount of the white nail art paste and start to shade the design. We start with the petals in the background, gently pushing the brush against the surface, moving forward. We pick up a bit more product and add it to the front petal. We use the same motions. We place down the brush and press it gently to create shading. We follow this method to shade the remaining petals. We pick up some white paste onto the nail art brush 007 and outline the outer parts of the petals more or less halfway. In the center, we paint another gentle line that we cure in a lamp for 10 to 15 seconds. Again, we pick up some white paste. We place the brush at the top of the petal and using a semicircular motion, spread the paste towards the center. We finish off both petals one after the other so as not to waste any time. We use the same pattern to outline the outer part of the bottom petal and cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We pick up a small amount of Like a Princess on the tip of our brush and gently shade the design from the inside, then cure in the lamp for 10 seconds. We add a bit of Like a Princess paste to the green blend to create a brownish-green hue. We apply the blend onto the brush and shade again, this time from the bottom of the flower, and then cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We dip the Master Nail Art 007 brush in the brownish mixture and create the stem of the flower. We draw a line, turning it to the inner part of the nail, then we paint the stem of the flower bud and cure in the lamp for 10 seconds. Using the same shade, we create decorative semicircles, filling in the space on the nail, then again, cure in the lamp for 10 seconds. Using the Master Nail Art 007 brush with a tiny bit of the white paste on it, we add highlights to the stems, starting at the base of each flower. We cure in the lamp for 30 seconds. We wipe the nail with a pad soaked in wipe-off cleaner, and it's ready. This is what our today's pastel designs, created with the Jostovo technique, looks like.
And that's the end of our episode. Let us know in the comments below if you're planning on trying Jostovo and if you like this style of design. Or maybe you're a fan of floral manicures but done with other techniques. Let us know what your favorites are. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye!